I am at the 870 building right now, and the illustration department is currently working on a mural project that will go along the wall in the pedestrian walkway right at campus in Pasadena. As a department rep, I'll be interviewing some of our talented muralists, and I'll also going to share their process of expressing creativity. Let's get right into it. Would you be able to briefly introduce yourself, your name, track, and what kind of artworks you normally create?
Yes, I'm Lily Todd. I'm sixth term illustration design and design matters minor. I normally just do small watercolors, draw a lot of fun animals. I do a lot of ceramics, and my work is pretty positive and fun.
My name is Maya Ruiz. I'm seventh term and I'm in illustration design. Usually I like to make artwork that's like about joy, a lot about food and like imaginary creatures and my culture.
My name is Rebecca Brown. I'm in illustration design track and I'm term 6.5 right now. And the work that I usually make are usually like analog paintings that revolve around memories or scenes and environments. And I try to find sentimentality in everything that I do.
I'm Leilani Acevedo. I am in the design track. And when I return to ArtCenter, I'll be seventh term. And I would consider myself a mixed media artist.
Hi, I'm Sarah Oh. I'm in illustration motion, and most of the work that I do is like animation, but like mixing 2D and 3D animation, trying to combine like different mediums and see what I make out of it.
So how does it feel to draw on the wall of your school?
It's very cool. I'm glad that people are gonna, get to walk through this each day and see this, and it'll be like a bright, colorful environment. I think everyone involved is pretty proud of it too.
It's a cool opportunity because there's so many cars that are passing by and so many people walking by that they're bound to see like what we're all making.
I think it's really nice because ArtCenter, despite it being an art school, I feel like they don't present a lot of opportunities where students are able to showcase their art like in places like this. So whenever ArtCenter opens up like a mural opportunity, I feel like it's a really cool thing for them to do.
I know that you came up with the design for this, so what was the thought process behind coming up with the design?
Yeah, Lily brought up the prompt that was about like making a storefront, and I wanted to make a storefront that reflected my personality. So I chose like a restaurant for food and also wanted to bring some of my culture in and name the restaurant after my mom's maiden name.
I made my section like a ceramics store. I have like vases and cups and mugs on the shelves that are like maybe things I've made before or just like imagined, but just playing with shape and stuff. Yeah.
I chose a coin laundry just because I like it. I don't know, I just like the vibes of coin laundries, and I kind of just grew up with them, and I like the sounds of like the coin going in the machine. Yeah, I was just trying to create a design that was simple enough, like if someone would be passing by a car, it looked recognizable, but if you're to like walk through it, it's like a whole different experience. So like the outside of it is like the outside of a store, but when you walk inside, I want it to be like the inside part.
I knew that it would be a bigger space, so I thought it would just be easier for me to make a grid. So I think my design is pretty simple because I used like a 3x3 grid. I always wanted to do something as sort of an homage to the Korean grocery store that I used to go to when I lived in Tennessee. And so this just seemed like a good opportunity to just include that.
And I'm here with our illustration department chair, Ann Fields. So Ann, how did our department land on this project?
Oh, it's very interesting. The school's doing a lot of reconstruction and new construction here at South Campus. So Rollin Homer, who works on all of these new projects, came to illustration and graphics and fine art and said, hey, can someone do some murals? We met and decided to create a calendar where we'd have dedicated space for our own murals. And from that point, Bonnie and I met and we decided we wanted an illustration team to work on it in a dedicated manner.
Right.
The color scheme, because it's limited,
That's right.
creates a very strong graphic and it's very readable.
That's right.
And I'm proud of the students very much because it, to me, is a really unique piece that is actually communicating what it means to be an Angelino.
Based on my interviews, diverse students from many different tracks are collaborating to work on this project, and they're really loving it, especially having this wonderful chance to connect with students from other tracks, which isn't so common, and they're also learning from each other. They're also showcasing their own artistic voice into each section, so I think this is a wonderful project that we had a chance to work on.
Yes, I hope the first of many. And I'm very inspired by seeing how professional this looks. I think it really puts illustration on the map at ArtCenter too.
Now I'm here with the art director and the curator of this project, KG. Would you be able to introduce yourself, your name, track, and what kind of artworks you normally create?
Okay, hi, I'm KG Shida. I'm in the illustration design department. My work is sort of revolved around graphic design, typography, illustration, and skateboarding.
Hi, my name is Sophia Kiuchi. I'm currently an 8.5 term student. I'm in the illustration design track, and I do a lot of very realistic rendered portraiture.
As you can tell, we have two different walls and two different designs, and you are responsible for this design, correct? So would you be able to briefly explain your thinking process behind this?
Sure. Well, first of all, I was thinking how the audience or the viewer is gonna look at this mural, and I think the way a lot of people view this is through their car while they're moving. Motion was kind of a key, point for this mural. And based off of that, I designed this a series of icons. If you kind of look from left to right, you can kind of see it kind of grow and then change a little bit. Yeah, so that was kind of the initial idea, was just showcasing motion and how can we make that interesting.
My last question is, so what was the work process for this project like? Was it similar or different with your usual process of working on artworks?
It was a lot different because usually I don't work so graphically, but it's been a learning process, learning to paint this big and
It is just because of scale, and I guess with this mural, I consider it a lot more simplified than the work I usually do. I usually work with a lot more detail.
I mean, I don't collaborate a lot, so it's been really nice, and it's been a really good bonding experience, I think, for the students and for me.
Well, you're not only our muralist, but also one of our very few and talented peer coaches. Would you be able to briefly share some benefits that our fellow students can acquire from the peer coaches?
Yeah, so the peer coaching program, it's targeted towards lower term students. We're just here to be the older sibling, and so provide them with guidance, advice, just support them in any way that we can. Some of the questions that we get are class recommendations, portfolio reviews. We get a lot of questions about scholarship review, sometimes our own personal experiences with certain classes in the audit. But we'd like to encourage students just to come talk to us. We understand that acclimating to an environment like ArtCenter isn't the easiest thing.
Before I end this video, there's important information to share. Look out for our department's traditional event, Tea with Ann, where you can openly communicate with our department chair and Field to share your concerns, suggestions, shout-outs, and I'll also be there as well. Additionally, there are several extracurricular opportunities to make your school life more fruitful than just your classes. It is never too late to join a club, attend a student government meeting, a workshop, a study OA session, and also collaborative events like the Mural Project, so do not hesitate. That's the end of this month's Illustration Highlights, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!